Milton underwent what we call rapid intensification. In this case, it was extreme rapid intensification, one of the fastest rates of turning into a Category 5 from a tropical storm that we've ever seen in human history. How does it happen? Well, you need a period of somewhat quiet wind shear. Wind shear is kind of like the winds pushing at the storm from the side. If they are pushing very strong above, but not so much below, it can sort of tilt the storm over or start to tear it apart. So the wind shear was pretty quiet. But the other thing that was happening is that sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico right now are near record highs. It's kind of like Milton was sitting at a red light and the light turned green and it was able to hit the accelerator and push it all the way down to the floor. It accelerated very quickly all the way up to a Category 5, which is sort of the physical limit that the atmosphere can allow a storm like Milton to grow to. And that wouldn't have happened in a world where the sea surface temperatures were cooler. These extremely warm sea surface temperatures provide the fuel necessary for the rapid intensification that we saw taking place to occur. Rapid intensification is something that is becoming more common in a warming world. We know that as human beings increase the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, largely by burning fossil fuels, we are increasing the temperature all around the planet. In certain places like the Gulf of Mexico, temperatures are actually growing faster than around other places on the planet over the ocean. And that means that there's a lot more fuel available to these storms than there would have been if we hadn't burned greenhouse gases. There's going to be incredible damage associated with this storm on the order of billions of dollars. We've been seeing with Hurricane Helene that, there were billions of dollars of damages there. And in fact, if we look over the historical period, say the last 45, 50 years, we see that billion-dollar disasters in the United States have been dropping from around 60 to 100, every 60 to 100 days 50 years ago, down to every 9 days here in 2024. So every 9 days, the United States is facing a billion-dollar disaster associated with, weather conditions that have been influenced by climate change. So I grew up in the Tampa Bay area in Clearwater, Florida. And so this is my hometown that's under threat. And when I was growing up there, I very much remember, the discussion of there was a storm out there sort of with Tampa Bay's name on it. And I think Hurricane Milton has the potential to be that storm. We haven't seen an intense storm sort of having a Tampa Bay region in its sights like this, really, for certainly as long as I've been alive and for almost a century now. And one of the things we're most concerned about with a storm like Milton is the storm surge. It's hard to say to what extent any individual impact will be, the most damaging or the most concerning, but generally speaking, when people are hurt in storms like this, it's because of water. Extreme amounts of water, storm surge is the primary driver of danger. human beings have unequivocally changed the environment in which hurricanes like Milton, that will do an extreme amount of damage, change the environment in which they've grown, developed, and intensified. This is really concerning, and it's not going away. These types of impacts and these types of storms will be with us for a long time yet. But that's not the end of the story. We have the chance to make a better end of the story by working together to reduce the climate impacts across our planet, by working together to reduce our climate emissions as a global and local set of communities.